So Kirk, name, make, and model.
This is the Wildcat. So the outline on this, you can see that the wide point's back with this hip in here.
Yep.
Which makes it tail turn. It's a little more user-friendly that way. Mm-hmm. And this curve in here allows the board to roll on the tail with that V.
Yep. When the wide point is back from center, what is that, in performance-wise, what would that do? Would it make it more of a hip to turn on?
It makes more of a hip to turn on. It makes it easier to surf backside. You can stack that back foot on and it'll roll over on the rail a lot easier than a straighter tail with the wide point forward.
Okay.
It's a little straighter in here, so as you get forward, it really will take off.
Yep. What about the rails on this thing?
The rails again are neutral, soft, into a belly up in here. Mm-hmm. Not too extreme.
Okay.
Very forgiving. But the edge cuts taper in, and then you get that nice release with the hard edge in the back that's kind of tucked under.
Yep.
It's a little bit flatter in here. It's not so round. So, it's a pretty forgiving board.
Yep. What about the fin? The
fin has full Greeno influence, not too flexy, but it works in conjunction with the rail. When you get the two working together and you bank it over the right way and you're pressing, and as you release, then it's the fin releases and flexes.
Yep.
Then you can kind of get that pump of the fin and the rail together. So you're driving yourself, doubling down on speed. One turn, then the next turn, you're picking up and driving your momentum. That's why it's like kind of shifting gears.
I see. And so what would be the ideal waves to take this board up?
This will work in really good in junk surf. You can ride it from like 2 feet to 6 feet. It's got a wide tail. It catches waves very easily. It's easy to surf backside. It's not difficult. The wide point is back. It's not so forward. So the wide point's back. There's quite a bit of rolled V here, but it's still, like I said, it goes back to flat.
Okay.
Rolled V in here, but not so much V like the old V bottoms, so they track. Really a pretty versatile board. I know it doesn't look like it, but it actually is. And it's not something that a beginner couldn't start on because of the wide tail and the ease that it paddles with.
Yep.
And it's pretty forgiving.
Yeah. Why the diamond tail as opposed to just more of a...
Greeno.
Okay.
Very much after the kneeboard, like Velo.
Yep.
It's kind of patterned after that, and that's what they were doing. When they saw George surf in Australia, they were like, I want to surf like that. So it pushed the boards to be more like George's kneeboard. So this is just a slow evolution of those boards. But different foil, different rocker. They're not so straight in the tail. It's got more rocker throughout the board, and it's got a slight S deck.
Yep. Is it a find the trim line and walk up and down, or is it up and down?
Yeah, this one you can wheel back on the hip because the wide point's back in this area.
Yep.
And the foam's back here. You can wheel it around like that, but then you can walk up, and there's kind of a straight spot in the template as you go forward where it's a real trimmer.
Yep.
So you get that era of looking at the movie like Evolution where they're still using that walking longboard style that you were talking about, and how good Malibu surfers, even on littles, would turn, and you could walk, take a step up, and move around on the board a little bit, and not be so stuck in one place.
Yes, yep. If someone were to come and purchase this board, put it on the rack, and go to the beach, what should they know before they paddle out?
On this one, I would say kind of the same thing, is just let the board kind of go. Don't oversurf it. You could probably do it a little bit more on this, because the wide point's back. And so you can turn off the tail a little bit more. Just don't oversurf them.
Time and time again, I knew what I was doing. And time again, it just made things worse. It seemed to see the most of what is really true when you're stepping into your hearse. The only time you can write a song that's really, really real. The best a man can say is how it's playing on him this feel. And no, he only knows as much as time to him reveals. like time sublimely silences the wise. I know that if I try, I'm gonna take a fall at once and splatter there between my lies. Only time can write a song that's really, really real. The best a man can say is how it's play on him this feel. And no, he only knows as much as time to him reveals. If we give submission, among our chances there's a chance we can choose. And if uncertainty will give us that permission, then it's impossible to lose.